It's the Superhuman Television Show, your guide to living beyond 100 years in good health. Now, here's your host, Carl Lanore and Tony Vanetti.
Welcome back for another fantastic episode of Superhuman Television. I am Tony Vanetti. This is Carl Lanore. We both do radio shows, and we're doing this TV show to try to help you move along with your life and get down that journey a little bit farther.
There's something I want to say because of the last show that we did, and it made me think. We're telling people to look at these things seriously, diet and HRT and so on. Mm-hmm. And people are probably saying, why should we listen to you guys? And we've talked about this in the very first episode, but it's worth saying this again. We have no vested interest in it. It's not like as though we have stock in the paleo diet or HRT clinics, right?
No.
And we're just really interested in the truth because you and I are trying to live longer and be stronger as we age.
Yes. It's so interesting to me because I'm in like year 7 of my journey here, and I'm learning something every single day, not to do this, add this, don't use this, and it's so fascinating to me. But the more I learn, the better I feel. That's the whole point of this thing, is that I have about 27 days a month where I feel fantastic.
Right.
Does anybody want to trade for that? Yeah. That you have 3 sort of not fantastic days where you're kind of down 3 days a month. But 27 of them. Now, you're probably flipped. You're out there probably having 3 really good days where you wake up and you're ready to go, and 27 where you feel terrible. Flip that.
Right.
You can flip that, okay? Again, you know me from radio and television. I have a show later this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Please listen in at 7:90 a.m. And yours can be found at superhumanradio.com.
That's right. And today we're going to be talking about fat-soluble vitamins, but we're going to be talking about 3 specific fat-soluble vitamins. And that is vitamin A, vitamin D3, and vitamin K and K2, really more specifically. And a lot of people are confused about fat-soluble vitamins. In fact, a lot of people are afraid of fat-soluble vitamins. Their doctor may have instilled fear in them about these vitamins because they'll say, well, water-soluble vitamins you urinate out.
Right.
So they don't have the possibility of accumulating. Fat-soluble vitamins accumulate. So I'm here to challenge you and ask you what's wrong with that. What's wrong with a vitamin that has a storage in your body?
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it. Okay?
Yes, they are attacking the fact that you're taking too much of them.
Well, and so what is considered too much has been highly overestimated. And so, for instance, we can even start with vitamin D for a second.
That's the hip vitamin right now.
And we're going to be talking about why vitamin D should not be taken by itself in this show. So if you're already on board with vitamin D's importance, then you're going to have to get on board with these other 2 as well. But your body will produce about 20,000 IUs of vitamin D in about an hour and a half of direct sunlight. So when you go on vacation...
But that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes, this is my point. Yeah. This is my point, right? So you go on vacation... And you lay in the sun, you and your wife, you lay in the sun for 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Swim at the beach, and then you go in. So you're probably producing 60,000 IUs of vitamin D in those 3 days. Yes. How do you feel when you're on vacation?
Fantastic.
So why is 1,000 or 2,000 IUs dangerous?
I know. It's a good point.
Okay? So again, folks, a lot of the points we make here, if you apply critical thinking, you have to go, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. Whenever what you know to be true challenges what you're told in science, always go with what you know to be true.
Right. I take a vitamin, my wife and I take a vitamin D through a little dropper. It's a liquid form.
Right.
It's a liquid form.
Right.
And we feel great. It's a hormone. Is it not a vitamin D?
Yes, and that's a good point. Vitamin D is cholecalciferol, the one we're talking about, D3 today, and it is a direct relationship to cholesterol. It is a hormone, as is vitamin A, and technically vitamin K is a quinone. It is not a hormone, but they all play together.
Okay. Why don't I get enough vitamins in the food I eat?
Well, first of all, there are no foods with high levels of vitamin D. We've only ever gotten vitamin D from the sun, but we become sun phobic because...
Right, cancer.
Well, but
cancer.
here's that critical thinking again. So people who live closest to the equator have much lower skin cancer than we do here in the United States. They're exposed to the sun to a greater degree. Why is that? If sun causes skin cancer.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm close to this. My family is from Key West, okay? So it is 95 degrees every single day, 365 days a year. My grandfather climbed a telephone pole for 45 years. He ended up with some skin cancer because obviously, they don't have any lotions back then. But he was in the sun for 16 hours a day. I'm torn about this whole issue.
Well, remember we talked about inflammation. Inflammation is linked to cancer. There's more going on with your skin than just exposure to the sun when you develop skin cancer.
Right.
And we're talking about research that actually shows that the vitamin D produced in the skin can actually prevent you from getting cancer. This was discovered by Wake Forest University. But more importantly right now, what I want to talk about just for a second is don't be afraid of fat-soluble vitamins. I'm not saying that you should overdo it, but you should absolutely be including them in your diet, whether you're getting it from dietary sources, supplements, or natural environmental exposure.
Okay, and we're going to talk about the pros and cons of the vitamins and why you should load up or why not. Again, some people think you're overloading your liver also, right? Processing some of the vitamins.
Well, they're stored in the liver.
We'll talk about that, all right? We'll do that in the next break. You are right here on WBNA, Tony Vanetti, Carl Lenore. We'll be back. We're talking about vitamins today. I know you've got some in your cabinet already and you're looking at your multivitamin. We'll break all that down right here on this episode of Superhuman Television.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health. Without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
Welcome back, Superhuman Television. Tony Vanetti, Carl Lenore. Today's show, we're talking about vitamins. I know in your cabinet you have you have a multivitamin. Most people that are health conscious or even halfway, they have just a multivitamin sitting and they take it every morning with breakfast, Carl. That's not enough.
And we're talking very specifically about fat-soluble vitamins for a reason, because I don't want people to be afraid of fat-soluble vitamins. The first one we're going to talk about is one that doesn't get enough attention, in my humble opinion, and it's vitamin A. And we should have a graphics here. The very first line on this is really important. So you know all about stem cell therapies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're all the rage now. They're rebuilding hearts and rebuilding.
Yes,
okay,
it's crazy.
You have stem cells in your body. Nature didn't put them there so that a doctor could harvest them, grow them in a petri dish, and then put them back in you. Nature put them there as spare parts for your body.
Okay.
Stem cells cannot differentiate without enough vitamin A. In fact, a pregnant mother requires vitamin A at a high level because that baby is splitting into different cells all day long.
All day long, right.
So vitamin A is critical for stem cell differentiation. If you have enough vitamin A in your diet, your body will be able to repair itself. It repairs injuries faster. Mm-hmm. It takes the spare parts. The other thing, there's a lot of research being done now on the importance of a new receptor that they discovered about 8 or 9 years ago called the Retinoid X receptor. The Retinoid X receptor has been linked to everything from Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, skin repair, and everything down. And every day they're finding out new linkages between the Retinoid X receptor and disease. The only thing that stimulates the Retinoid X receptor is vitamin A. But we're talking about real vitamin A, Tony. We're not talking about beta carotene.
Okay. That's not in my multivitamin.
It probably isn't. They usually put beta carotene in because theoretically you can convert beta carotene to vitamin A, but a large...
And that's in broccoli.
No, that's in carrots.
Okay, carrots. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Carrots, right.
And don't forget, vitamin A is good for your eyes, and there's a lot of people out there who, as they age, they suffer from dry eye. They go to the doctor, they want to put these little things in their eye. Yeah. If you get enough vitamin A in your diet, your dry eye will go away. But here's the interesting thing about beta carotene. I don't want to miss this point. If you're getting beta carotene, that doesn't mean you're getting vitamin A. Your body does not convert it to vitamin A easily as you age. So less of it becomes vitamin A. You want to take real vitamin A, retinoic acid, or it's called retinol palmitate, or retinol. You don't want to be taking beta-carotene.
Why did they just discover this X receptor here?
Well, because they're always discovering new things.
Right.
The retinoid X receptor has also been, a lot of research being done in Alzheimer's disease and dementia as well.
Right, okay.
So this is an important one.
So
Okay.
vitamin D is in liquid form. Can I get the
Yes.
vitamin A in liquid
vitamin
form?
A comes, the highest amount of vitamin A comes from cod liver oil, by the way. That's where they usually get most of it from. We're going to talk about different sources towards the end of the show. If we could put the next graphics up, please. Vitamin D. Vitamin D, we all know. Wake Forest University discovered a mouse that overproduced vitamin D. They injected they bred it. They injected these mice with cancer. They tried to kill these mice with cancer. They could not kill these mice because the vitamin D caused them to become bulletproof to cancer.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay? In third world countries, they use vitamin D instead of flu shots. They even prevent rubella and measles with large doses of vitamin D.
Right.
Okay? Muscle strength has been closely linked to vitamin D status in older people. Type 2 diabetes is influenced by vitamin D, and of course we know stronger bones. Everybody's taking calcium,
right?
But if you don't have enough vitamin D in your diet, that calcium doesn't go in your bones.
It makes a lot of sense because, again, you get vitamin D through the sunlight. Again, we're all basically complicated plants, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're getting
Bingo.
sunlight.
Yes,
right.
And vitamin D should be taken with vitamin A. And the next one I want to show you is one that you don't hear about, but you only need very small amounts of it. You get it from green leafy vegetables, and it's vitamin K2.
Never heard of that in my life.
Stronger bones, cancer resistance. It's been linked to preventing Alzheimer's disease. It improves blood quality. It can reduce the occurrence of aneurysms for people who have problems with their vascular system, and it influences new cell growth. It goes hand in hand with vitamin A. Vitamin A will differentiate stem cells. Vitamin K helps them become healthy cells. Now, the only thing that I warn you is, if you're on a blood thinner like Coumadin or warfarin, you cannot take vitamin K without your doctor's advice, and you know that because your pro time is influenced. Your blood gets thicker when you take vitamin K. You don't need a lot of it.
Always, yeah, and A and D are fine. K is the one you got to get question marks. Always ask your doctor about anything we talk about and your health. Again, you should be open with your doctor about all this. But K2, I've never heard of that before.
If you're healthy, you should not take D by itself. You should take D with A and K2, and we're going to tell you towards later in the show how to get the appropriate amounts of all these.
Okay, maybe you're deficient.
We can take that slide down.
Let's find out how. We're going to do another graphics before we go to
break.
No.
No. We can take that slide down.
How do you know when you're deficient? We're going to talk about that when we come back from the break, and then how do you handle all that? Okay, so stick around. How do you know if you're deficient of vitamin A, D, and K2? Okay, so stick around here. Tony Vanetti, Carl Lanore, Superhuman Television.
Don't be afraid of your fat-soluble vitamins.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
Welcome back to Superhuman Television. I'm sorry I stole your thunder there, Tony.
No, you're good.
I wanted to bring us back because I want to talk about something really important here real quick. The only way to tell if you are deficient in these types of vitamins is to have blood work done. Vitamin D, vitamin A, and vitamin K2 are very, very powerful vitamins, and they do what they're supposed to do. But here's the good news. They work and they make you healthier. The bad news is they do what they're supposed to do, so you have to watch your blood levels. So you should only start supplementing when you're ready to go get blood work done.
All right, will they test my vitamin levels on my annual blood test?
You must ask them for this.
Okay, got it.
You have to ask your doctor for this.
Ask your doctor when you get your annual checkup. You want to test your vitamin D, vitamin A, and K.
And K, there's a couple ways to test K, and we'll talk about that later. But the ideal way to test vitamin A and vitamin D is through the blood. When they test vitamin A, the test range generally goes from 50 to 200 micrograms per deciliter of blood, and you want to be in the middle of that range. You really do. If your doctor says to you, "Oh, Tony, you're fine," you must ask your doctor, "What are my numbers?" Because your doctor may say, "Well, you're 51, you're fine." You don't want to be on the low end of any of these vitamins, and you don't necessarily want to be on the very, very high end either. You want to be somewhere in the middle to the middle upper ranges, okay?
Right. Yeah. Again, your doctor will go off what the national average for your age is.
Right.
Okay. So
you don't want your age.
You want to bump up the vitamin intake on some of them, right? Yeah.
Vitamin D, they test something called 25-hydroxy vitamin D, which is considered the active form of vitamin D that converts directly to calcidiol, which is really the vitamin D that works in the body. Those go from 30 to 100 nanograms a milliliter. You want to be above 50. You don't have to be dramatically above 50. You could be 55, you could be 60, 53. You don't want to be down in the 40s. You want to be above 50.
Man, remember, D3 is what you want, because that's what I take in a liquid form is D3, and there's different types of vitamin D.
Yes, you don't want D1, you don't want D2. D2 is actually synthetic, and there's been a lot of evidence that it's bad for you, harmful.
D3.
And D2 is what they put in commercial dairy. You don't want that, okay? But unfortunately, it's in commercial dairy.
Synthetic vitamin D? How do you even get that?
They make it in a lab. They make it in a lab.
You just make it in a lab.
Vitamin K is a little more difficult to test. They do have blood tests out there. Very few labs do it. But what your doctor can do for you is something called a ProTime test, a prothrombin test. They prick your finger and they see how fast your blood clots, and that tells whether you're deficient in vitamin K2 or not. If you eat enough green leafy vegetables, you won't be deficient in vitamin K2. If you're on blood thinners, you can't eat a lot of green leafy vegetables for that reason.
Right, because some doctors will tell you, Carl. They'll say, "Look, you're getting enough vitamins in your diet."
Yeah,
not so much.
Not true, especially if you're staying out of the sun. So let's put up the first graphics, please. Where's the best place to get vitamin D? Absolutely, the sun.
The sun.
Don't be afraid of the sun. You don't have to stay out there until you get severe burns.
15 minutes.
15, 20 minutes a day. If you work in your garden, wear a sleeveless shirt. Allow your body to get some sun.
Well, that's why a lot of people have sunrooms in the back of their house. They go back there. I do a little, I work on the show. I will go on the back deck and just sit there in the morning and get 15 minutes of sun on the face, and it could be the difference in your day.
If you're afraid of the sun, then take a good vitamin D3 supplement. Start out with a couple thousand, 3,000-4,000 IUs a day. Have your blood work done, see where that puts you, and shoot for that above 50 range. That's the magic in that. The next one is vitamin A. What are the best sources of vitamin A? And we have a list, I believe, that we can put up. Liver, number one. If you're going to buy calves liver, make sure these are grass-fed cows that have not been given hormones or antibiotics, because remember, the liver is the sponge for the blood. Cod liver oil, paprika, red pepper, cayenne pepper, and we're going to talk about cod liver oil at the end of the show. Okay. Chili powder, sweet potatoes, carrots have some amount of vitamin A in them, but higher in carotene. I don't like them as much. Green leafy vegetables and dried apricots. These are great sources of vitamin A. Switch it up. Get plenty of these in your diet regularly. The last one is vitamin K. This is a simple one. Green leafy vegetables like broccoli, spinach, and kale. You should be having these 3 or 4 times a week. You'll have more than enough vitamin K2 to do what needs to be done. Combined with the A and D, these are the holy trinity of fat-soluble vitamins. These will keep you healthy, keep you from developing cancer, keep you from developing disease, keep your bones strong, keep your cells reproducing. This is magic, folks.
Do I continue to take my multivitamin and add these to it?
Good question. Depends on how much is in your multivitamin. Do the math. If we're saying that you should get a few thousand IUs of vitamin D a day and you're only getting 1,000 in your multi, then you have to supplement with a couple more.
I love it. Vitamins is the topic today. Everyone wants to keep and take their vitamins, and you're not getting enough in your food. You should spend a little bit more time in the sun. But like you said, if you're afraid of sitting in the sun, you have family history of cancer, skin cancer, and you want to change that up, then there's other ways to do that. Vitamins are the topic today for Superhuman Television. We're on this journey to make life longer, better, feel better, look better, and do that. So next, on the next segment, we'll talk about possibly overloading your liver, maybe?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, the fears on that one of too many vitamins and overloading your liver when you don't have to. We'll talk about that next, so stick around. It's Tony Vanetti, Carl Lanore. You're on WBNA. Every day here at noon, set the DVR, either record it or watch it live right here on Superhuman Television.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
Welcome back to Superhuman Television. So Tony wants to know about overloading the liver. Don't worry about overloading your liver. You're not going to be able to take enough of these fat-soluble vitamins long enough. There are people out there that are taking 100,000 IUs of A and D a day for different ailments, and they're not overloading the liver. The real magic is in testing. And where vitamin D lies, there's new testing coming out. You won't hear about this from your doctor for a couple years, but in the future, they're going to have to test 3 things to tell where your vitamin D level should be. Parathyroid hormone, calcidiol, and 25-hydroxy. But you'll see that in the future. But don't worry about overloading your liver, because chances are you're not getting enough of these vitamins to begin with right now.
The more you know about the body, the better. So every year, you're going to have to take a list with you, all right? They're going to take a list with you of what to test from your doctor. Remember, hormone replacement, we're big on that one too. So we're going to keep up on the testosterone, vitamin D. We want to get you, make sure that your levels are optimal.
That's right.
All right.
Now, something else that we talked about during the break, cod liver oil. Cod liver oil is magic. Everybody should have a good bottle of high-quality cod liver oil.
Sounds disgusting.
Great. Look, Carlson's makes one that's lemon-flavored. It tastes good.
Sounds disgusting.
High in omega-3 fatty acids.
What aisle is cod liver oil in?
You got to go to the health food store.
Oh, right. There's not even at Kroger.
Plenty of vitamin A, plenty of vitamin D, plenty of omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
It's magic. Everybody should be taking cod liver oil.
Okay, if I don't get the lemon-tasting stuff, what do I do? Give a tablespoon of this to my kids?
If you don't get the lemon tasting stuff, your kid will not take it.
Okay, maybe our parents got something right, because all I remember is, when they were kids, it was just like, take your cod liver oil.
It's true.
My dad used to eat liver. You put liver up on that list, and I can't find, that is disgusting. He used to go to KFC and get his livers, but eat liver too. I'm not eating liver.
But good, healthy liver. But no, cod liver oil really is good. Everybody should revisit cod liver oil again. It's better than taking fish oil. If you're taking fish oil for the omega-3s, get rid of the fish oil and start using cod liver oil. You'll get all your omega-3s, but you'll get A and D.
And I can take that in a gel.
No, it's tablespoon.
I got to taste
tablespoon.
it. Okay.
But it doesn't taste bad. If you buy Carlson's, don't buy the orange, because I burp it back up. But the lemon is delicious. The lemon doesn't taste like cod liver oil. It's fantastic.
What's better than taking it down the first time?
Yeah, it's the second time.
Cod liver oil. All right, the cod liver oil is going to spike in Louisville now. People are going to go out.
Well, you know what? If you take your cod liver oil
it.
and you eat your green leafy vegetables, you're going to be safe with this, and you don't have to worry about overloading your liver.
Think about vitamins, not just your multivitamin in your cabinet there you take every morning. You've got to add to that, and specifically today has been A, D3 is important, and K2. I want you to think about that, taking and adding that to your diet in the morning, okay? A D3, I take a little dropper of it, and it is important. So please take a look at that, all right? Again, the journey is down the road a little bit farther, and we'll be here with you every single day. So I want you to join us here at noon. Set the DVR if you can.
You want to watch the next show. The next show is going to be about endocrine disruptors. This is really powerful stuff that you're not thinking about right now that you need to be thinking about, because you want to talk about cancer, you ladies out there, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, endocrine disruptors, you're going to want to listen to the next show.
Superhuman Television. We'll see you tomorrow at noon right here on WBNA. Tony Vanetti, Carl Lanore.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Labs liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.